All right, just setting up. Not sure if the TikTok version of this is working correctly. It has an image here that I don't have time to reset. Not sure. Again, just setting up before I start. All right, we're gonna keep it as it is. Not sure if the background is a problem on TikTok. Not sure. We'll figure that out later. Testing. Okay, I am going to test run a presentation that I will be giving later, but I want to test run it here and see how it goes before I can move forward with this particular presentations in the future. So you get this for free. So the goal of this presentation is just to share with you a very key aspect of the book, The Million Dollar Mind, how to build a world-class coaching business from what you already know. It's a book that I just published recently, and I wanted to share this with all of you first. So the title of this presentation is how to stop being undervalued and start earning what your expertise is actually worth. So how to stop being undervalued and start earning what your expertise is actually worth. How to stop being undervalued and start earning what your expertise is actually worth. And before I continue, I would like for you, if you're on any of the social media platforms, please go ahead and just drop in the comments, drop in the chat wherever you are. I might not be able to see it, but please go ahead and just drop in there. I will review it later. Do you think, that question to answer first, do you think you have $1 million mind? Do you think you have $1 million mind? Another way to look at this question is, do you think everything you know could become a product that could make you $1 million in a year, or in your lifetime, or in a month, or in a day? If so, drop it in the comment. Do you think what you know is worth $1 million? Do you think all of your accumulated knowledge is worth $1 million? If so, drop it in the comment. So by the end of this session, you will know why your pricing keeps collapsing. If you're somebody that is in business and you have a price and the price is not working, especially those in the coaching business. If you have a price and the price keeps collapsing, you would know exactly why. And generally, the first thing you want to know right now before we even continue is that it is not because you lack confidence. That's not why. The exact math that backs every hour of your work. So now you're going to be able to, since we know it's not a confidence issue, we're going to move into the exact math that backs every hour of your work, what you're charging, either as a coach, either as an employee, as a business person that sells products. You're going to kind of understand some of the math that goes into it. I'm not going to do spreadsheets and things like that. It is math that comes from the knowledge that you possess. And this is generally for people that are professionals that want to be coaches, consultants. So how to make your value visible without hype and justification, and the clear steps that you need to take. So it's a lot of objectives, but we are going to dive in there and see what you can take with you today. So another question. If you're just joining and you haven't dropped your comment, do you think you have $1 million mind? Do you think you have $1 million mind? Do you think everything that you've learned throughout your lifetime can be quantified into $1 million? I know it's like a mind shift, but just think about it. All your knowledge, if it is quantified and you have to deliver it as an offer, do you think it is worth $1 million? Not as one product, but overall, do you think that particular information that you've gathered across your lifetime can become $1 million product? So that was the first question that we were thinking about. I'm going to give you a few more minutes to think through that one. And then we are going to jump into the second question. You can still answer this question right away if you like. Have you ever quoted a price and immediately felt you should have charged more? As a consultant, as a professional, as a coach, as somebody that delivers products, have you ever quoted a price and then all of a sudden felt like, oh, I should have really charged more for this? While you're doing the work, you realize, ooh, I should have charged more for this. If that's you, type yes in the chat, wherever you are, in the descriptions, wherever you are. Not in the description, the comments, wherever you are. I'll give you a few minutes to do that. Not a minute, I'll give you about a minute to do that. Have you ever quoted a price, immediately felt you should have charged more? Yes or no? If you're a business person, you're a professional, have you ever quoted a price and felt immediately that you should have charged more? Have you ever asked for an hourly rate at work and felt like you should have charged more? Maybe you should have asked for more pay. Maybe you should have asked for more. Have you ever felt like that? Happy Saturday, Melissa. Happy Saturday. No. So Melissa says no. That's excellent, Melissa. We want you to be in a place where you're confident, you're comfortable, and you know that what you're charging is what you're worth. So for those who said yes, that they have charged somebody and felt like they should have charged more, for those who said yes, that they have maybe asked for an hourly rate and realized that they could have asked for more pay, basically you are not underpriced because you lack skills. Because sometimes the justifications we give in our head is that we're not qualified enough, we don't have the right skills, so we charge very little. I think one of the reasons, or what I emphasize in the book, is that one of the reasons why we charge less than we are worth is because we have not found a way to measure our skills, to figure out what are our skills really worth, what kind of value is the knowledge that we have bringing to that company, what kind of impact are we going to make. And so this presentation is not about time, it's not about how much time you put into something, but more about the value that you bring. So main reason that most people are charging less than they should be for either their coaching, for their product, for their jobs, per hour rates, if you are working or if you're working as an hourly worker. Some of the reasons is that we have not created our value in a way that is very visible to us to begin with. and then visible to the people that we are serving or that we're offering our products to. So when the value is visible, people default to one thing. When the value is not visible, people default to one thing, and one of the things is price per hour or task, right? So one of the things is price, the second is hours, and the third one is task. So for price, I want you to ask yourself, can I find someone cheaper? Have you ever heard anybody say to you, can I find someone cheaper? Or maybe I'll find somebody cheaper. You make an offer and they say, I'll find someone cheaper. Or somebody gives you a price and you think to yourself, oh, this person's overcharging me. Can I find somebody cheaper to do this work? Right. So that's some of the questions that generally come around price. Can I find somebody cheaper? So hours. If you're at work, they'll be like, how long did it take you to do this? Or if it is a contract that you receive and you're working on that contract and the person's like, well, but how long will it really take you to do this? You're charging me, say, $1,000, but this can be done in 3 hours. Or you're charging me $200. Meanwhile, this is going to be done in 30 minutes. So the people question, how long did this work take, or how long will this work take? So they calculate your value based on hours, or they calculate your value based on whether they can find somebody that can do it cheaper. Another way people calculate your value is based on task. So they ask, exactly, what exactly did you do? Some of the questions that come up, what exactly did you do? And they give you a job and you charge, they're charging you for the job. And no, they give you a job and you charge them a certain amount, and they're looking at the task that you need to complete, and that's how they are measuring the value that you bring, because they are looking at those tasks. So we've said three things. When your value is invisible, people default to charging you based on price, and they ask questions like, can I find someone cheaper? They charge you based on hours. How long will it take for you to complete this job? They can charge you based on task. What exactly did you do? Or what exactly will you be doing? And that's how they measure the value that you're bringing to them, or to that job, or to the task that you get, that they, to the deliverable that they're offering you, or to the contract that they're offering you to complete, or the service, right? So the rule that nobody really tells you is you cannot charge premium prices for unclear value. So this is not a confidence problem, it is a visibility problem, right? So the key thing that I want to keep driving today is that if you are not getting premium rates, it's not because you do not have confidence. It is not because you do not know the job. It's because the value that you're creating for that customer, you have not made it very, very clear how valuable what you're bringing is. Even if they come to you sometimes, there is that tendency to shy away from really charging the value that you're worth. So I'm hoping again that by the end of this, you will be able to have maybe not the full picture on how to create your value, but you'll have some steps, some key steps on how to create your value in a way that is very visible, not just to you, but to others. But the key thing starts with you. The mindset shift starts with you. You really knowing clearly what value you bring to the customer. And it has nothing to do with time. It has nothing to do with how long it's going to take you to finish the job. So in the premium realm, they're not generally paying you for the hour. That's why I keep insisting that it has nothing to do with time. When you're in the in premium work, when you're offering premium value, when you're offering a premium product, generally the person coming to you for your service or for your product are not looking at time, how much time was put in. They're looking at the value that what you have is going to create for them. So they are paying you for the years it took to make that 1 hour that you might put into something meaningful. So if you are a coach, you're not going to charge, say, $200 an hour, $300 an hour, simply because of that hour itself. You're charging based off an accumulated knowledge that you have. So you might show up and somebody will and give somebody your price, and the person will say, well, this is too pricey. How do you justify to the person that your prices are never too pricey? You could charge $1,000. Somebody can pay you $1,000 for that product. Another person will think that that product is only worth $100, right? That time that you're going to give them to invest in them, somebody's going to think that it's only worth $100. Meanwhile, that another person is going to look at what you're offering and say it's worth $1,000 to them. And it is because you bring discernment. You see what other people miss. You see the person that is willing to pay you $1,000 for your service is seeing something that the person that is paying you is wanting to pay you $100 is not seeing. And it is a value that you're bringing that one person is seeing and the other person is not seeing. So over your lifetime, you've accumulated not just that discernment, you've accumulated judgments, ways of navigating complex situation quickly. And it is that judgment that some people will pay $1,000 for. And somebody will look at it and be like, well, it took you 30 minutes to give me this advice, so I shouldn't be paying you $1,000. No, it is $1,000 because you have accumulated that knowledge. And I'm saying $1,000 is not a fixed figure. You will have to decide for yourself what the value you bring is worth, how much a dollar number that you want to put to it, or the financial number you want to put to it. Because I know people that are across the continents, different continents, do watch this when I post them. So I'm not gung-holing you into dollars, but dollars, we're using it as a universal language. So you are going to decide what to price. And once you price it, you need to know that you're bringing discernment. You need to know that you are going to get paid because the person that needs you knows what you bring to them is worth. You know it, they know it. So they're willing to pay you for it. The complex, how you navigate complex situation is a skill that you have learned maybe over your lifetime. How do you quantify that so that once you build your entire offer, that value is tied into that and you are not being charged per hour? You're not being paid per hour. You're not looking at your work and boxing your work into an hourly rate or into simple task, because you are more than that. Your accumulated knowledge is more than that. And that's why I asked in the beginning, do you think you have $1 million mine? Do you think you have $1 million mine? If you have $1 million mine, you did not get it by getting one certificate. You did not get it by having one college degree, right? That is accumulated knowledge over your lifetime. So another thing that you have to consider that makes your product a premium product, and why you are not supposed to just settle in for an hourly rate that somebody decides that you are worth, is because you have frameworks. You've built frameworks, tools that help you create clarity for the person you're coaching. Think about somebody that you hands them. Let's look at a student that hands their paper to an editor. The editor have ways that they edit that paper that allows them to work quickly through the paper. They might charge you $200 for editing your paper, but they can use maybe 30 minutes to edit the paper because they have built strategies to be able to work quickly. It doesn't mean that you should pay them less because they're able to work faster. And you shouldn't charge somebody less because you can work faster. You charge more because you have built the discernment, the judgment, and the framework to work faster, to offer them something that creates value for them, to solve their problem quickly. And you're not solving their problem quickly by being messy and missing things. You're solving their problem extremely well, but extremely quickly. That's premium work at that point. So charging people by the hour instead of by the value that you bring is going to be cheating you from the $1 million that you could be working towards. Again, $1 million mind. What are the things that you've built? And by so doing, you stop undervaluing yourself. So the whole point is for you to stop undervaluing yourself. Now, another thing that you've built is reduce risk. You're able to see costly mistakes and fix it quickly, right? So I paid somebody $500 to review a document for me. $500. It was hard for me to do it, but the reason I paid them $500 to review that document for me was because, and I knew they did it really quickly, really quickly. I paid the $500 because of the expertise that I know that they have. That's why I paid $500 for them to run through my document, and they probably didn't take more than 2 to 3 hours to do it. But they were able to do it for $500, not because of the hours they spent, but because of the discernment, because of the judgment. I saw that they could read my document and see where the risk areas are and help me reduce it. And the one thing that they caught in that document was the one thing that would have costed me so much money down the road. And even though I knew that they worked really quickly, I knew that they used other systems to do their work, it didn't matter because they caught something very significant in the document, which reduced risk for me. So again, what is it that you are doing that is causing you to undervalue yourself? Could it be that you are charging for tasks? Oh, I'm going to complete this, then you pay me this. Is it that you're charging per hour? Oh, I'm going to spend 20 hours on this, so you're going to pay me this amount. Forgetting that you're bringing discernment, you're bringing judgment, you're bringing a structure and framework, forgetting that you're reducing risk for that person. So you have to think about all of this and how to quantify all of this into what you charge. And as a premium, as person that charges premium and that creates premium product and that deliver premium service, you should take these things into considerations so that you can stop undercharging and undervaluing yourself and actually earn what your expertise is actually worth. I have created what I call the value ledger. This value ledger is found in chapter 4 of the $1 Million Mind. The Million Dollar Mind is a book that I just published. If you're just joining me, The Million Dollar Mind is a book I just published. And in chapter 4 is what we call the value ledger. So everything I've said so far, if you get into chapter 4, it should help you out to be able to calculate how to charge correctly and stop undervaluing your expertise. So the value ledger is a different way of calculating what you bring to every engagement. Again, as we've mentioned, the old method, price equals to hours time rate. That's the old way of calculating it. Expertise, in this old model, your expertise is not visible. In this old model, you work more hours or you think more hours will provide more money. Yeah, more hours. And we know a day is 24 hours. So we cannot work past 24 hours. And if you're depending on more hours being how you make your money, how you make your first $1 million, then you're going to be circling because there's only so many hours in a day. And you're constantly justifying your rate. If you feel like you're constantly justifying your rate, if you feel like more hours is going to give you more money, if you feel like the value you're bringing is not visible, people don't really see the value that you bring. If you're saying my price is equal to the number of hours times a certain rate that I just calculated, then you're working in the old model. The new model in the value ledger is price equals to a fraction of total value built. That way your expertise is quantified, your design replaces volume, and you steward the investment that you've made over many years. And that tool is available for you. If you leave a comment in the chat, I will send you the tool for you to be able to go in there and put in and calculate what is your brain really worth. If it's your hands that you use, what is your hands and your brains really worth? And for those of you that are following in the presentation mode, you will see a clear example right here. And in this example, I estimated, this is an estimate of the value that I bring, right? As I've calculated my own value, and this is an estimation. And one thing I really want you to know is that faith does not eliminate math. Right? Having faith does not eliminate math. Math is a very good tool to clarify. Some of the things that I've said, you might be thinking, oh, these things are not measurable. These things are not measurable. How do you really measure that? Right? And that's why you pick up the book. That's why you pick up the free chapter that I'm offering. You don't have to buy anything. You could pick up the free chapter that I'm offering by just commenting on so that I can send you a link to where you can go get it. And I also have a calculator in there that you can calculate. I can send you that also. You can calculate it for yourself. And this is what I calculated. If I calculate my education, my loans, my trainings, my development, I put it as $750,000. That's the total cost that I've invested in my education and training over the years, right? And development. If I calculate my EV, what is my experience value, I say 20 years, and I estimate that 20 years is about $10,000 per year. And you will see how I came to the $10,000 in the book. Then I add another $200,000. Resources library value. That is the RVL that I've created. The RVL that I've created are books, frameworks, IP, tools. Let's give it a very small amount, $20,000. All of these puts me at almost $1 million, if not $1 million, right? Almost $1 million. It's not quite that, but it puts me at almost $1 million. But these are like conservative estimates that I'm making. The only estimates that are very clear is my education, because I can go in and say, okay, this is the amount I paid in school fees. This is amount I paid in trainings. This is amount I'm paying my coach. For example, I'm paying my coach $25,000 a year to coach me, right? So that is value that I'm acquiring, that I'm going to pass on to you. And right now, what I'm passing on to you is part of everything I've acquired in within this $1 million. And I'm giving it to you at this very moment. Every little tidbits I'm giving you at this very moment, it's free, right? But it cost me almost $1 million, or over $1 million, to be sitting here talking to you. All the knowledge I've acquired, the time I spent writing the book, the time I spent preparing this presentation, all of that. But I'm offering it to you for free. It doesn't mean that it's not worth something. This to somebody else is going to pay me for their same presentation $1,000 per hour. Another person is going to pay me $5,000 for a day of workshop for this exact same presentation that you're getting for free. So this one presentation that you're getting for free right now is going to make me money in other ways. So just because I'm giving it to you for free doesn't mean that it is not valuable. It's extremely valuable information that I have spent a lot of money to acquire, that I'm passing on to you, right? So just because the point I'm making here is that just because the work that you are doing, somebody's not willing to pay you $1,000 per hour for it, $100 per hour for it, doesn't mean that it is not valued to somebody else at that rate. So calculating your rate and knowing your rate is very important. I can choose to say, I am going to do this for you for free. But that's my choice to give it to you for free. It doesn't mean that the knowledge I'm offering is worth less. You can choose to say, I'm going to charge $100 per hour, $50 an hour, $20 an hour, $10 an hour. You can choose to say that. And you will have your reasons. The value ledger is my way of saying, have a reason why you charge what you charge. And don't underprice yourself by boxing yourself into an hourly rate or boxing yourself into task. Meanwhile, you can offer a premium product by understanding everything that you bring to the table. So if you want the store, comment wherever you are, leave me a chat, inbox me, link in my bio, check the link in my bio, and I will send you the tool. So basically, every hour I spend with you, if you calculate my accumulated worth, it's 40,000 plus. $40,000 plus, right? Based on the calculations that I showed you earlier, my 1 hour is worth more than $40,000 of accumulated value over the life, the amount of time that I calculated, which was 20 years. And you can do this for yourself. You can ask yourself, how much is the 20 years of knowledge that I've accumulated worth? That way you know the accumulated value. You walk into the room, you don't walk into the room and going, oh, I'm an hourly rate. You can choose to work for hourly rate. You can choose to do a job that pays you $10 an hour, $5 an hour, $50 an hour, and $100 an hour. But I want you to still be able to know, even though this job is paying me $100 an hour, $10 an hour, this is my accumulated worth. And I'm doing this job at this rate because let know the why. Why are you doing it? You could be doing it because you at a lower rate because you want to build references. You want to build reviews. You want to build proof that what you do is actually good. You could take a job at a lower pay just so that you can build that experience. So I'm not saying that you should calculate your worth and think, oh yeah, my every hour is basically $10,000, and then go in there and try to get $10,000. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. You're going to need to be wise, and in the book everything is clear. You will see how to calculate it so that it's a wise decision. So it's conservative numbers, so you don't inflate your numbers and then have overconfidence and then fall on your face. No, everything within reason. And that's why my value as somebody that have 7 degrees, a PhD, well published, very unique skills in research, published just published this book, working on 3 other books. I am telling you that I am worth, my 1 hour spent with you is worth $40,000. But I'm spending this hour with you for free. Why? Why? Like I said, there is always a why. I'm doing it for free because I want you. It's my pleasure to see you have knowledge. That's one reason. The second reason is that I have a job that is coaching. I need to be able to also invest in other coaches. The third reason being that I need visibility. Remember, at the beginning, we said our value is not visible. Now that my value is visible to me, how will somebody know that I exist if I don't come here and tell you what I'm doing? So I'm creating visibility for myself by giving you something for free, or giving you many things for free, right? Giving you this presentation for free right now, giving you a tool for free, and I'm giving you a chapter of my book for free. All you have to do is comment, leave, or inbox me, and I will be able to give you that information for free. All right. Like I was saying previously, this is not what you charge. I don't charge $40,000 an hour. I do not charge $40,000 an hour, I promise you. 40,000 is my accumulated wealth. I do not charge $40,000 an hour. But it doesn't mean that I will not get to a place where I charge $40,000 an hour or more. I can tell you for sure that my coach charges, the person that coaches me charges $40,000 per hour. And that is his conservative, generous, because his hour is just very, 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 very valuable. I'm sure if I were to calculate for my coach would probably break my calculator because he's so knowledgeable. And why is he my coach? He is my coach. I go to him and I drop $25,000 without blinking for him to coach me. Why? Why? Because I know what he can invest in me. I know you will not, or I know somebody else will not. I know you might, right? Daniel, been sitting here for a minute. Thank you for joining and for listening. I'm sure you would drop 25,000 if you saw that somebody was going to do something, was going to offer you something that would change your life. $25,000 will not be a problem. But for another person, $25,000 is a big problem. Like paying somebody $25,000 to coach you for an hour every week for a year, and you're not even getting direct coaching, right? It's like, it's not like it's one-on-one. One-on-one is, my coach doesn't even do one-on-one, just so you know. My coach doesn't even do one-on-one. And I'm willing to pay them $25,000 because I know the value that they are bringing to me. And until you can decide the value that you bring to another person, or know the value that you bring to another person, you will not be able to charge. You are not going to be able to charge what you're worth. And you're going to continue undervaluing yourself. My mission is for you to stop undervaluing yourself. And if you undervalue yourself in some instances, have a clear reason why you're doing it. Again, if you're in the presentation room and you're seeing this, the milliondollarmindbook.com/value ledger intensive. The milliondollarmind.com/the value ledger intensive is where you will get your you'll find the calculator. The milliondollarmind.com/value ledger intensive is where you will see the calculator. Again, if you want me to send it to you directly, drop a message in the chat box. If you want the free chapter, you have to reach out to me directly for the free chapter for now. So basically, a value without proof is basically a claim. So if you say, I'm worth $40,000 and you don't have any proof, you're basically making a claim. It's a claim. It's not, there's nothing there. There's no there, right? There's no there. And that's why I showed you how I came to the $40,000 that I calculated, because I need you to see the proof. I don't have every detail, and you don't need to give every detail. So if you're talking to your employer, you're talking to your a client, you don't need to give every details about how you built your $40,000. You can group it as I grouped it earlier: my education, my experiences, and my IPs, the tools, the frameworks that I've built, right? So all that's my three major buckets that I put all my things in there, and then I calculated them. So again, value without proof is a claim. And here's how you build your proof. You document the problem, what it is costing them right now. So now you're a coach. I'm talking to you like you're a coach. As a coach, how are you going to build your proof? So first, you document your problem, the problem that the client has, what it is costing them right this very moment. So right now, what is the problem that you have? What is that problem costing you? Let me think. Let me talk to you like I'm your coach. What is the problem that you have? What is that problem costing you? That will be the problem that we will solve. Now, write down that for yourself. That way you know what it is. Write it all down. That's a way of keeping records, right? And then I will be working with you. I will provide you the frameworks. I've already provided you a free tool. I've provided you a free tool already, and I'm providing you a mind shift. I'm hoping that by what I'm saying today is starting to shift something in your mind. So during our session, right, we're going to have a frameworks. I'm going to work on your mind shift. Then after, I'm going to now go in and say, this is what we worked on. What are the outcomes? Now you tell me what the outcomes are. So there is a before, a during, and an after. And on this journey, I also have my before, my during, and my after. My before, I knew that I was being underpriced. My book is literally my situation. I'm not sharing anything that I am not going through. My book is my situation. I hired a coach because I was struggling with how to value myself. Not that I have low self-esteem. Yeah. This is not about low self-esteem. This is about how much I'm being paid for the knowledge that I bring. right? Like the jobs that I'm working, am I being paid correctly for what I'm bringing to the table? Am I creating a value that allows my job to pay me what I bring to a good thing, a good amount that justifies me being there, right? So if I'm in a job and I'm not creating value, I should not be expecting them to pay me higher, because I kept saying, why are they paying me so low? I have a PhD, I've published, I've done this, I've done that, I've started a nonprofit and ran a nonprofit for 20 years. I've worked cross culturally. I have helped so many people. I teach and I get good reviews from my students. The list continues. I have built frameworks, I've written books. Why am I getting paid so low? That question got me thinking. And I knew I had a problem. Ruth had a problem. Ruth had a problem. And the problem was she was getting too low, such a low pay from the things that she was doing that she didn't understand why. And she went on a quest and she found a coach, and the coach challenged her. And now she wrote a book. And now she's sitting here talking to you. Right? I would not have gotten there if I did not recognize the problem that I have and what that problem was costing me. And because I knew what the problem was costing me, I looked for somebody that could solve that problem for me. When I went into the coaching, I was like, oh, okay, this first phase is gonna cost you $200, $300. So I'm like, okay, let me check it out. And then they're like, oh, if you want to get more information, sign up. And I'm like, fine, I'll sign up. So I signed up. I'm like, okay, I think at the most they're going to ask me, they're gonna maybe ask me to pay $2,000 for this. I'm like, okay, cool. I would do that if they ask me to join the coaching session. I'd be like, okay, I'll do that. And then I joined the coaching session, and they're like, this is $25,000, and you pay this way, and it's paid that way. I was like, what? No, I am broke, and I'm here because I'm broke, and I'm not getting paid well at work, and I need to be paid well so that I can survive. Not the fault of the jobs that I'm working, not the fault of the companies. The companies is paying me the value that I have shown them. They're paying me the value that I've shown them, and they're paying me for the value that I'm creating for them. So they've created a situation where this is the a value that they want, and they're just paying for that value. And because they're paying for that value, if I need more, I need to go create more value that encourages them to pay me more. Right? Like I need to make it visible that I have more value to offer. And if I cannot make it visible that I have more value to offer, then that's a me problem, not the company problem. And if my coach that I was, when they said this is how much you're supposed to pay, I was like, ah, but I was like, this problem is costing me so much more. This problem is costing me so much more. I know that I have $1 million mind. I know that with everything I have acquired over my life, I can do so much more. I can get paid so much more. My products should be at premium, not at hourly. I should not be making an hourly rate that I was making when I did not have a degree. When I did not have a degree. So I had a problem, and I needed somebody to help me with that problem. And once they showed me that they could help me, even though my brain was stuck at about 5,000, 2 to 5,000, once they said 25,000, I was like, ouch. But I had to find the money. I had to find the money. I had to find the money to pay because I needed my problem solved. And it's not a magic wand, right? It's not like because I pay 25,000 and I have this amazing high level coach that is coaching me that all of a sudden all my problems are going to go away. No, they're not going to go away. I still have a lot of work to do. I still have a lot of work to do. Once I started in December, I locked myself in my room and I did not leave my apartment for a week. I did not leave my apartment for a week. I just worked. I just soaked in the knowledge and I worked and I read and I worked and I read and I worked. So everything I'm sharing with you right now is months and months and months and hours of working and thinking and working through my own problem. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there, right? I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So I know right now that I'm worth 40,000 per hour, and I can show you. I can show you, as I've already shown you, that I'm worth 40,000 per hour. But I'm here for free. I'm here teaching you for free. And I have my why. I've already noted several times my why. You should know your why. You should know your problem. You should find the people that can help you solve your problem. And it's not the fault of the person that is paying you. It's not the fault of the company. It is your responsibility to show your value. It is your responsibility to create a value that is visible so that the person is willing to pay you for it, for you to solve a problem for them. You would think that with the PhD, I would have just known that. But it is a mindset shift because we're so boxed into hourly rates. We're so boxed into hourly rates. So there had to be a mindset shift. There had to be something that got me thinking in a new direction. There got to be something that shifted me from saying I am broke and $25,000 for coaching is too high, but still going and doing what it takes to get the $25,000 to pay for coaching so that my problem can be solved. That again can only be done if you see the value that the person is going to bring to you. If you see that that person can solve your problem. And just because you've seen that that person can solve your problem doesn't mean that you don't do the work. You still do the work. You lock yourself up and you do the work. All right, that's my motivational talk for right there. So in my program, I have a 90-day program that I'm offering, intensive. And it will be about just you creating your own value. You have the tools, you have everything. But if you were wondering how you could work with me, what you will learn from me, in the first month, I will make sure that you calculate your value, set a rate that reflects the math and not a feeling. It has to reflect the math, not the feeling, right? And then in month 2, we'll create a positioning. You'll write your offer around your outcomes and stop leading with just credentials. Oh, I have a certificate in this. I have a degree in this. Oh, I graduated from here. I graduated from there. I have a PhD. So what? So what? You might have all those things and you're still broke. You're still broke. I am telling you from experience, you can have all the degrees and still broke because you have not clearly shown what value you bring. A degree is not a value. A degree is not a value. And in week 3, we'll collect your first documented outcome and the pricing that will hold when you start to charge. Right? If the goal is for you to ask for higher pay at work, then we work on that. If the goal is for you to start your own coaching and get paid what you're worth from your coaching, we will work on that. If the goal for you is you're already a coach and you want to charge a bit more, let's work on that. Don't just say, I want to charge more. I deserve to charge more. No, let's put the math to it. What's the math that shows that you should charge more? The nuanced math, not just direct math, no, nuanced math that allows you to charge more. So I want you to think, what is the biggest thing stopping you from charging more right now? What is the biggest thing stopping you from asking for a raise at work? What is the biggest thing stopping you from increasing your prices for the product that you're selling? What is it? If you have that, drop it in the chat, drop it in the comments. Right? I cannot see all the chats and all the comments, but I will review after this is done. If there is any, I'll review after this is done. But on TikTok, I can see my TikTok screen. Thank you all for joining. Nice to see you. Thank you. Robin, Arita, Ayong, thank you for joining. And Daniel, thank you for being here. Rebecca, I see you. I see you. Thank you for joining and supporting. What are some stories that keep us on the price? Proverbs, I see you. What are some stories that keep us on the price? If I charge more, they will think I am greedy. Oh man, I cannot say I have not been there. Again, I'm telling you things that I have struggled with. If I charge more, they're gonna think I'm very greedy. I'm ungrateful. If I ask for a raise, they're gonna think I'm ungrateful. Yeah, pricing reflects. I'm having an audio issue here. Oh, okay. Sorry, TikTok, if you can see, I'm having an audio issue here. All right. Okay, cool. So pricing reflects value on the pricing sickness insecurity. And that's why we need to work on this. Another thing, I need more credentials before I can charge more. Trust me, there's so many people running around with PhDs and things like that that don't charge more. That's why I'm working on what I'm working on right now. Your formation is already complete. What is missing are some frameworks. So if you already have the degrees, you need the frameworks. Even if you don't have a lot of degrees, but the skill that you have, you just need a framework on how to implement that skill that you bring to the client. My clients cannot afford more. Ooh. Then you're attracting clients that price for your current rate. No, you're attracting the wrong clients. So those are areas that you have to work on. So again, if you want to know about the $1 Million Mind book that I just released, how to create a world-class coaching business from what you already know, it has 5 parts. Stop pricing by the hour, turn your expertise in clear offer, make your value visible, grow without burning out, the framework in practice, and then the framework in practice. So those are the different things, the key parts in the book. So just a quick question, which one describes you best? Are you a coach, a consultant, or an employee, or an employed professional? Let me know. Let me know. Are you a coach? Are you a consultant? Are you an employed professional? Let me know if you send me a chat. That way I can know how to respond to your chat. So what I offer is for you if you have expertise, but your price has not caught up with it yet, right? You are tired of being compared by, you're tired of being paid by the hour or being compared by an hourly rate alone. You want to package your knowledge into a premium outcome-based offer. You are ready to build proof, not just hope people will recognize your worth. So these are just some of it. There's a couple more. Just message me if you need free resources, you want to know more about how we can work together. All right, I think this is the end of my time with you, not the end of my time. I can stay on and chat if anybody wants to join the conversation. I can stay on and join the conversation and have conversation with you. But for now, if you want any free resources, let me know. You have any questions, let me know. Thank you again, Rebecca. I see you. Proverbs, I see you. Daniel, I see you. User 7659447. Try to call that really fast. I see you. Thank you, Rose. Sentado, thank you for joining. Kamoko, thank you for joining. Any questions, guys? Any questions? Again, my name is Dr. Ruth Akumbu, and I am the author of The $1 Million Mind, How to Build a World-Class Coaching Business from What You Already Know. I have several other books. If you want to know, you can go to ruthakumbu.com, or you can just message me and I will give you the information. All right. Thank you, everybody. I don't see any comments. I don't see any requests to join the conversation. So thank you. I appreciate you being here and following and listening. Thank you. Hopefully, I will do this again soon.